Hi everyone, welcome back and happy Saturday. So in this segment I'm going to talk about my anxiety as a whole, what it means to me, the type I have, the severity, and really what it's like living with anxiety. Because for me it's been, I think, 17 years since I've been unofficially diagnosed. I only got diagnosed not too long ago. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And again, thank you for tuning into my channel, and let's get started. So the type of anxiety I have is called agoraphobia, and it's in the severity levels. So basically a textbook definition of agoraphobia is it's a type of anxiety disorder in which you fear and avoid places or situations that might cause you to panic and make you feel trapped, helpless, or embarrassed. I can say, yeah, that's true. That's like a simplified definition, but that's basically the bread and butter of agoraphobia. But for me, I didn't know I kind of knew I kind of had anxiety. I wasn't sure how to go along with it. Living in Toronto, getting help for mental health services in general isn't easy. I don't think it's easy in really any city in the world, to be honest. Not that I know of. So the only way I was able to even get help was I found out through this app called Whisper I use that there was a free mental health clinic in the east end of the city. So I went there back in, I think it was December 2017. This was around the time I was still doing my talk show. Yeah. So I went, I talked to some therapists. It actually wasn't bad. Then they decided I needed to see a psychologist right away, which I thought was kind of a red flag. But I'm kind of happy that they referred me to a psychologist at the clinic. I ended up seeing her in March of 2018, so last year. And I spent about, I think it was 6 months. Yeah, about 6 months with her. And every 2 weeks I would go see her. We talk about my psychological stuff, medications they want me to try. So I was on a few different medications, but none of them worked. The last one I took gave me some really nasty heart issues, which I had to end up going to the ER a couple times for that. So I'm assuming it's the medication because nothing else showed it could be any other causes. So when I saw my nurse, she said maybe it could have been that medication because that medication is known for giving electrical misfiring of the heart. I don't know how to explain it. So I looked at her, I'm like, really? You tell me this after I took the medication. So anyway, back to the story. When I found out I had agoraphobia and she broke down what exactly it means, it started to make sense because I can be in a crowded bus, I can be in an empty bus, and I'd still feel like I'm being swallowed into a box. My chest will clam up, I won't be able to breathe, my throat will feel like it's getting locked up. So I always assumed that was some part of anxiety or panic. And I also do have panic disorder too. So this agoraphobia and my panic disorder are kind of one and the same because one pretty much leeches off the other. I don't know how to really explain it that well. But basically my panic disorder and my anxiety, they're hand in hand. So dealing with this hasn't been fun because I've had these same problems since I was I think 8 years old. So, and the thing is, I always thought it was asthma. I found out 2 years ago I never had asthma in the first place. My family doctor said he doesn't know how they were able to diagnose me with asthma when he can tell from all the times I've seen him that I never had asthma, and then because the inhalers never worked. So I'm like, okay. That's another interesting thing I can add to my calendar of weird stuff that's happened. So I didn't have asthma. So I guess all this time that they thought I was asthmatic, it was just some really nasty panic disorder. I just kept getting worse and worse and worse as the years progressed. It's been, 17 years? Pretty much. So with that being said, anxiety does make it difficult to do things. Work related. Every time I try and get a job or I've had a job, the anxiety takes over. I've worked at some of the biggest places in the city, like I've made a lot of money too. Like most of my jobs have never been minimum wage. I'll be 24 at the end of this month, and I can say I've only had maybe 3 minimum wage jobs. The rest of the jobs I've had have all been pretty much over 20 bucks an hour. So that can say something. I can work. Like I have luck when it comes to the job market, but when I get in, my mental health decides to pretty much give me a middle finger to the point where I have to quit, or I have to, walk away or take more breaks. So it makes it annoying because with that, I don't really go outside that much either, because it's more of, I guess, I've let it like take over my life per se, which I'm trying not to. Like I've slowly but surely trying to get back on track. Like before I used to take a lot of photos, go outside, photo blog. I had my radio show where I traveled like 2 hours to go do. That's why I started YouTube again too, because I can do this from home, but stepping stones. Eventually, like when the weather gets nicer, I'll probably go sit in a park or something and record vlogs, like of me talking and doing different things. Like I'm not sure yet, but the thing is, the medication that I've been on, like the few that I've been on, nothing is helping. So it's not making it any better, it's just making it worse. Even I can sit down here right now and talk to you guys, and I can just feel like my chest is killing me, like my heart just wants to jump out of my chest. And I have to deal with that pain, because if I go to the emergency room, they're just going to send me home. I know, because even, a month ago, back in February, I think I went 7 times, because my chest kept hurting to a point where I couldn't breathe or anything, and I went, and they told me, there's nothing wrong with you, there's nothing we can do, right? There's nothing physically wrong with you. I'm like, but it makes no sense, because that pain is just there, right? I went to see my nurse to see maybe she can, recommend a medication that might be able to help. But I have to wait 2 months for that, because she said she was going away. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can deal with probably another 2 months of this, but now the weather's getting nicer. I do want to go outside. Like, I want to, try to enjoy life a little bit. I'm going to be 24. I haven't really done anything, fun at all. Traveling on a plane, that's probably going to kill me, because I know how my panic gets and my anxiety gets. I've never left, the country to go on a vacation. I haven't really left the general, GTA area of Ontario, so the farthest I've gone is probably 2 hours away, 2-3 hours away from the city. I haven't even been to Niagara Falls yet. So that's an example of how anxiety and panic, I guess, control my life. I'm hoping maybe, this year I can get under... Sorry. I'm hoping maybe this year I can get it under wraps, where I'll be able to do more things, enjoy life a little bit. But honestly, it sucks. Basically, this type of anxiety disorder is the equivalent to having constant claustrophobia. That's how I see it. And you mix that with the migraines I get and the depression and stuff, it makes it worse. It just makes me not want to do anything. I try and ride trains and buses just so I can, get out of the house for an hour or two, because I go crazy just sitting at home watching my pets doing nothing, right? But I don't know, agoraphobia, it affects my personal life too, my social life. I don't really do anything. I don't really have friends or anything either, right? So, and that's mainly because the whole friend thing too is because I did have a few, but over time, I guess I let my mental health issues take over, and they strayed away one by one. Some would say, oh, you're just, you need to go to therapy. Some would even tell me anything. Some would just disappear off my life and never come back, right? It's kind of, hurtful too. So, anxiety, it's nothing to play with. It can ruin your life, and if you don't keep it at bay, it can destroy you. That's really how I see it. And yeah, that's really it. I don't know how else to explain it in terms of how it affects me. All I can say is that I hope one day it doesn't control my life. Anxiety needs to take the back door and go back to Kansas, So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye.